Okay, so let's look really quickly. First of all, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace. If you're watching this on YouTube rather than in our course community, but some folks are asking me my recommendation for, launching a one-person style agency or web design studio. And there are lots of smart people actually out there in the world that I've, come across recently who are talking about this and teaching some of these strategies. But I want to share something that I think is much more powerful and is a little bit of a distinction that has a difference in what I'd recommend to my own clients and my own community who are launching this sort of business. So, two things. One, think of your business through the perspective of income and assets. So, here is an example of a membership site that we're building, like a directory style business that I have someone working on. And I've covered this before, again, in our course community. But if you're watching this on YouTube, I have a VA, virtual assistant, who knows nothing about marketing, nothing about anything, who is building this entire asset, for our business with very, very little input from me. So essentially, ostensibly, this is a Jersey Shore uh, sort of news curated content site with members, and we're going to have all sorts of invitations for local realtors and restaurants, et cetera, to have a profile where they can post their own content, much the way you see, me with my profile here, right? And essentially, we're launching this. I mean, it's live now, but we're really going to be focusing on this in late April and starting in May, when this resort area really sort of comes alive, right? This is the off season. So it's really a perfect time to be building an asset that over the next few years, hopefully will appreciate in a lot of valuable ways and offer a lot of, great opportunities to build a relationship with, the people that we want to target in this community, high profile realtors and professionals and restaurants, et cetera, et cetera. And again, I have somebody who's building this asset. I'm not even doing anything other than it runs on Ghost. So I set that up. And then, and I added a lot of the titles, right? So you can see, let me see if I pull up some posts here. So her whole responsibility is to go out and find content that matches my titles, right? So, four things to do in Asbury Park your kids will love. I don't know anything about Asbury Park. So she goes out and finds links that are, added to the Ghost back end, which allows us to curate content and send out a newsletter, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing here, 12 romantic hideaways. This actually is a restricted piece of content. Same thing here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? You can sort of organize this by dint of date and by dint of town. There's a lot of towns here, but that's not really what I'm trying to actually focus on here. What I want to this is the asset piece. The other piece is the income piece, right? You need to have an income, obviously, that allows an asset that allows you to apply or direct attention to building an asset, because that can take a while, right? So, I mean, things don't just magically appear in the world and have value. So, you want to have the ability to earn an income as a designer, as a marketing consultant, as an agency, etc. Here's what I recommend. This is something that you can do. I'll show you actually. We're creating one of these for this community. Let me see if I can find it. This is actually using Bento rather than something like Card. Actually, here it is here. So this is a kind of landing page that you can sell to your clients, right? So think about all of the restaurants, let's say, in this, in these towns that have no website or have a shitty website or have a PDF for a menu, or how, rather than or excuse me, have a PDF menu for their homepage, and that's their entire web presence. You'd be surprised at how many professionals have really poor online representation or branding in 2023. It's just a thing. Like even when I'm looking locally, for help, like my fiance and I were looking at something the other day or last week with respect to her home, and the people that she was finding to do work, actually, even by dint of recommendation, people who recommended, the contractors or what have you, who didn't have websites, and there's something, or they didn't have any way in which to see what they're about online, which is a red flag, right? So there are tons of easy things that you can do right now that add real value if you're building an asset like this to a local community by selling, web design or development services. So something like Bento, which is great. So here is how quickly you can build something like this. So I want you to, this is the Bento we're using for this particular community, but I want you to imagine this said something like, let's just change this for the time being. So imagine it's a restaurant that doesn't have a website. It could be Joe's, construction too. All right. And now all you're going to do is really quickly build out a website for Joe or Jane's restaurant, or, Jean's interior design, or, some Shore sushi restaurant, et cetera, et cetera. And it's very, very simple. And again, I'm just going to show you using our own content, right? So let's go here. I'm going to pull this up. I'm just going to grab the link. And again, I'm not a designer. That's not what I do. What I do is actually accumulate way too many tabs on my videos, as you can see here, because I'm just confusing myself and probably everybody else. All right, let's add that. So, you're going to start adding like your own content. So if I was adding if I wanted to create let's say a curated content landing page of our best content, right? So this is something else that you can sell if you're creating. Where is that? There it is. So you can add this to the asset as well, right? So I can just say something like, so I want you to think about this through two different paradigms. One would be, building something like this in addition to your membership site or WordPress directory or whatever, that actually you could link to from the menu or up top here, that actually is a great way of selling like featured listings or premium placement to your clients, your members, etc. Right? So something like this would feature all of the best places, and you would have something like this here, and it's very easy. Or think about selling something like this to all of the restaurants, the businesses, the niche professionals in your own industry that don't have good websites, right? And you're actually offering them this killer kind of, collection of their own best content, their own links, their own products, their own YouTube videos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all all in one great looking landing page, right? So, you can, let's see if I'll just show you one more. Let's say if I'm linking to my own profile here on our page, just copying that link. And there's me, right? I don't know, wherever. I mean, you can drag and drop these around. You can change the visual display, all of that, right? And this is so damn easy. I could add 50 links and, for a client, or 10 links, or, 10 products or YouTube videos, et cetera, and have that done literally in half an hour. You can upload, content, from your local machine. I mean, it's just really, really dead simple to do. You can add YouTube links, you can add Instagram feeds, you can add, just tons of Gumroad products. And regardless of what you're offering, you can build this for someone who has nothing and give them something really valuable that you can sell for $500, give them a great deal, build an underlying asset as well. So you're getting folks excited about all the ways that you can promote them on your platform, and you have this great web design sort of offer that doesn't require you to be a web designer. I'm not a web designer, yet if I wanted to, I could do this and just this for a living, starting today, and build a one-person design agency on a bootstrap budget. Bento is free, by the way, as well, which makes it really super appealing for all of us. Okay, so just coming back to the core idea here, income and assets. The asset is the long-term value play. You're building a directory or a membership site that has legs, right? Long-term legs, but short-term, it's hard to monetize, right? It's not so easy to build something in, February of 2023 that has real empirical value by March. But it is easy to use something like this, right, to sell services like the ones that I'm showing you here, where you're actually reaching out and saying, hi, my name is Ian. I own this. This is what we do. We want to feature your business, blah, 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 blah. You can add your own, links and products and menu items and services to our Shure community newsletter, etc. But we also noticed you have, no website, and we want to build you something like this, which you can see here to get an example of what it's going to look like. And, this is the fee we charge, and we'll, give you X, Y, and Z in addition to that. And I'll show you, I mean, again, like this whole thing is being built. I mean, I'll even show you, let's see if I can pull up the staff. I mean, there's me and Michelle, and she actually hasn't logged in for 6 days, but she does this work a couple days a week, part-time. It's just me and her, right? I've done almost nothing. These are a couple other, this is my email address, and this is one other person, another VA who's working on other projects, who's also been invited, but hasn't even accepted her invite yet, because she's working on another similar project. And honestly, this is the entire marketing strategy for this. Nope, that's not that. It's this one here. This is the entire strategy, right? And, this is like, I posted this for her, and she knows nothing, but we're going to, kind of understand this together over the course of the months and weeks, and hopefully years to come, where we're really going to grow this. And as you can see, this also works for the other site that the other person I just mentioned is working on as well. It's the same strategy, and it builds an asset that allows you to generate an income that over time really can be transformative for your brand and business. Again, it's work. It's fun work, but it's work. This is not magic. It's not some, superficial, scammy silliness that you see, recommended everywhere else. It's fun work. You're building things that are, valuable to you and to others in your orbit. And at the same time, you can, kind of create, just interesting ways of introducing the services that you offer to your audience, again, by dint of building an asset that allows you to generate a short-term income. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. Thank you for watching this. If you have questions about how to implement this and are interested in working with me directly, in April, I'll have another little cohort opening up in our course community mentoring program, where I'll help you grow your design or online agency business. If you're part of our community already, you have access to this. If you're part of our agency accelerator program, you have access to this already. So just log in, and you'll see some extra links for this new content that's coming in April. Thanks so much. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. I appreciate your attention, and have a wonderful day.